Namaste. Hello and welcome to yoga number 66. As ever, we'll start with the quote. You didn't wake up today to be mediocre. You didn't wake up today to be mediocre. We'll start the yoga practice. We're going to stand up and let's see if we can raise our performance above mediocre. So just stand tall and without looking down, try and feel that your feet are parallel. Allow the body to breathe naturally. And feel that there's someone standing with a thread attached to the center of your scalp and they're gently pulling you upwards. So as I've said many times, your buttocks may tighten, your stomach may flatten, and the shoulders may open. But it's ever so subtle. And smile. Just let the mind and the body prepare itself for the practice ahead. You didn't wait a day to be mediocre. Okay, so the ha breath is just a way you gently stretch your hamstrings, you loosen the spine, and you're aerating the lungs. So feet slightly more than hip width apart. And you're not keeping your legs straight, you're allowing the knees to bend ever so slightly as you empty the lungs. So we inhale as we raise the hands up, inhale through the nose, wait for your natural pause as ever, and then you're going to go ha through the mouth as you sweep down with the hands between the legs. You let the arms flop, and then when you're ready to come up, you inhale as you raise the arms up, inhale the nose, and exhale down, lower the arms. So it's very gentle, this, but you are doing a as you go forward with the mouth. So inhale as we raise, flop your wrists, and then after your natural pause, you bend at the knees, you get a nice stretch through the back, and your arms are loose and swinging, which is stretching the muscles between the shoulders. And you can stay for a comfort breath if you wish, or a natural pause, and then you inhale through the mouth. Sorry, inhale through the nose, my apologies. Stretch up, exhale down, lower the arms. So again, you can just wait for your natural pause between the breath or take a comfort breath and just continue as many rounds as you wish. So we'll do a few more in your own time. Wait for your pause. And don't be shy with the ha. Nice and loose as you come up. The slower the better. You'll feel the contraction, the thigh muscles and the gluteals. And then exhale through the nose, lower the arms. If you wish, after a few rounds, you can start to straighten the legs a little, which will give you a stretch in the hamstrings. It's entirely up to you. A few more. And of course, smile. We'll do 3 more. So we're stretching the body, calming the nervous system, cleansing the lungs, and helping the body to come into a position of equanimity. Take your feet into a parallel position. Stand tall. Let the body breathe naturally. And then when you feel ready, we're just going to come up, we're going to tuck our thumbs in, wrap our fingers around our thumbs. We've done this many times. We're going to inhale as we come up on the toes, open the fingers, inhale as we come up. Wait for a natural pause. Exhale as we lower down. Now this is easier as you tuck the thumbs in. If you try and concentrate on something that isn't moving, a fly in front of me moving, so it changes the dynamics. Inhale as we come up. Wait for the pause. Slowly exhale down as you caress the ground with your heels. Tuck the thumbs back in. And you're trying to keep everything else relaxed. So try not to be rude on the shoulders. Try not to take your shoulders up to the ears. Inhale as we come up. Exhale down. I think I've said before that anytime you're out of sorts, or if you've got a little bit upset, emotionally upset, this is the thing to do to bring you back to a position of balance. So if you wish, you can now add the sa, ta, na, ma, which would take our thumb and we touch the first finger and we say sa as we inhale and come up. Wait for your natural pause. We lower down ta as we touch the second finger, the thumb. Inhale as we come up, touching the third finger, na. Wait for your natural pause, and then down, touching the fourth finger with the thumb, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma, which is just a mantra, which roughly translates to truth is our identity. So if you're true to yourself, then you're more likely to be true to others. So just continue in your own time, sa, ta, na, ma, up with sa, touch your first finger. Down with ta, touch your second finger. Up with na. Down with ma. If you need a break, you just stop, you release the fingers, you relax, take a few comfort breaths, rest the toes, rest the feet, rest the ankles, and get back to it. You can do it with the eyes open or closed. It's a lot more challenging with the eyes closed. So there's no shame in keeping the eyes open, as long as you focus on something that isn't moving. Satanama, truth is our identity. So you can continue doing this at your own pace, or if you wish to bring another layer, alternate nostril. So mentally you say to yourself, sa, ta, na, ma, as you come up. Sa, as you inhale through the left nostril, touch your first finger. Exhale through the right nostril as you touch your second finger and lower down. Say ta. Inhale through the right nostril. Na. Touch your third finger. Wait for your pause. Exhale through the left. Mentally you say ma. So verbalize that once more, and I'll leave you in peace. Inhale as you come up through the left nostril, mentally saying sa. Touching the first finger with the thumb. Wait for your natural pause. Lower down, touch your second finger. Exhale through the right, ta. Touch your third finger as you come up, inhaling through the right, na. And then lower down, exhaling through the left, ma. Truth is our identity. So I'll leave you in silence for a couple of rounds at your own pace, or just stand tall and relax. Mentally say the mantra. Try and create your own practice. One more round after the one that you're on. And then relax all efforts, standing tall and smiling. Let the body breathe naturally. And perhaps think of a situation in the future where you can be more truthful with yourself, more honest with who and what you are, which will give you energy as opposed to taking energy. Invariably, if you make a good decision in life, energy increases. If you make a poor decision, it reduces. Okay, we'll go back to an old favourite, or a favourite of mine, perhaps not of yours, Samprasrasana, which means forward flowing movements. So one movement effortlessly leads on to the next movement. So we go to the right-hand side of our mat, and it's going to be very gentle. We're going to do it 3 times, 3 rounds, very gentle though, so no need to stress and strain. So we stand tall on the right-hand side of our mat. We're going to take a balance on the right foot and step across, raising the left. Stretching out our arms, step across. We're going to inhale and contract everything. Exhale as we lower down into the clasp. Inhale as we raise up, we look up, we lift up. Stretch up. And then keep that stretch from the shoulders to the elbows to the wrists to the fingers as we take it down. And then we're going to press our hands firmly together. Exhale as we go forward into fists. And then we take the fists around into the lower back. We release at the knees and we lean back. You can stay here for as many breaths, but when you're ready to come out, you inhale. We come around, reverse the clasp, raise it up. And into a forward bend. Relax at the knees, let the arms be loose as earlier on. Release the lower back, release the neck. You can take as many breaths again in this position, but when you're ready to come out of it, rejoin the clasp and release. Turn the clasp around, lift it up, hips to the right, and just gently move to the left. Nothing aggressive. Stay in this position, have one breath, inhale, stretch through, and soften. Inhale as we come up, very gentle. Lift up, hips to the left, bend to the right. Nothing aggressive, you don't need to be going for the full stretch. Inhale through again, lift up, and soften. Inhale as you come up, lift up, and then we're going to just sit down. Again, not into a deep squat, just the first point of resistance. Inhale, lengthen the arms, soften down again. Inhale, lift the arms, soften down again. Again, if one chair is enough, just do one. Inhale as you come up, arms forward. Inhale, then exhale to the right. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale to the left. Keeping your elbow up above the shoulder. Inhale to neutral. Raise the clasp. Lift up, stretch up. And that's a stretch that you release. So you're stretching from the shoulders to the elbows to the wrists to the fingers. And it just keeps your focus on what's happening. Heel toe together, which just protects your limbs. And then you step to the left-hand side of the mat. And we'll repeat the very same again from the left-hand side. Stand tall, relax. Let the body breathe naturally and smile. And remember, Sata Nama, truth is our identity. You can never go wrong if you're true to yourself. It doesn't matter what other people think. Okay, so take the weight on the left foot, stretch out the arms, lift the right leg, balance, and step across. Inhale, contract everything. Exhale as we lower the arms into the clasp. Inhale as we raise up. Lift up, look up. Exhale as we release. Shoulders to elbows, elbows to wrists, wrists to fingers. Inhale as we push the hands firmly together in Namaste. Exhale as we go forward into fists. Take them around into our lower back. And then again, it's up to you. You release at the knees, you lean back, lengthen the throat, look back. You can stay here for as many breaths as you wish. When you're ready to come out, inhale as you come around, a clasp, reverse it, raise above your head. Exhale into a forward bend. I don't keep the arms glued to the ears. I used to, but it's too much pressure on the lower back. And relax. If you want to stretch your hamstrings, you try and keep the legs as straight as possible. If you want to relax the knees, you get more of a stretch on the back. As you exhale, you can pull the stomach back towards the spine, but you're trying to release the lower back and release the neck. Rejoin your clasp when you're ready to come up, palms facing down. And the slower the better as you come up, and you'll feel the contraction through the legs and the gluteals. Turn the clasp around. Inhale, lift up. Hips to the right, bend to the left. This time we'll have 2 breaths. So inhale, stretch through and soften. Inhale, stretch through and soften. Inhale as we come up, lift up, hips to the left, bend to the right. 2 breaths. Inhale, stretch through, soften. Inhale, stretch through and soften. Up we come. Inhale, lift up. Then we do a 3 chairs. Exhale, sit down. It doesn't have to be far, just the first points of the thighs and the gluteals contract. Lengthen the torso as you inhale. You don't even have to go further down. You can stay in the same position. But you're inhaling, lengthening the torso, the arms, softening down again. And then we come up, arms forward. Exhale to the right. Keeping your left elbow up, above the shoulder. Again, you can stay here for a number of breaths in your own practice. But inhale back to neutral for the moment. Exhale to the left. Keeping your elbow above the shoulder. Inhale to neutral. Raise up, lift up, look up. And you're really elongating the body. And then you release ever so gently. Very relaxing this. And you're getting a wonderful stretch through the body, intercostals, the back, the arms. And it's almost effortless. Adjust any clothing. Step in. You can heel toe together or lift the leg in, depending on how wide your stance is. We'll go to the right-hand side of the mat again. So that was only 1 round. Stand tall. Relax all efforts. And see how you feel. Take an inventory. How different do you feel from the beginning of the practice? Do you like this posture? Is it working for you? Is it a chore? Are there any aches or pains? Remember, I said last week, it's recommended you practice the same posture for 30 consecutive days, and then you'll have a true idea of the posture and how you feel within it and the benefits for you. Not every posture is for everyone. Okay. Take a weight on the right foot. Inhale, stretch out, take the balance, and we step across. Inhale, contract everything. Exhale, relax down to the clasp. Inhale as we raise, look up, lift up. Exhale as we stretch from the shoulders to the elbows to the wrists. For me, this just feels delicious, but it may not be for you. as you release down into the Namaste. You don't have to be thrashing about at great speed to benefit the body. Inhale as we push the hands together firmly. Exhale forward into fists, into the lower back. Release the knees, look back, lengthen the throat. Take a few breaths. When you're ready to come out, inhale, hands round to the front, reverse the clasp, raise it above your head. Exhale into forward bend. Again, it's up to you. You can keep the legs as straight as you can, which will stretch the hamstrings and the back, or you can release the knees. Will allow you to bend forward a bit further. Try and release the neck. If you wish, when you exhale, you can pull the abdomen back towards the spine. You're trying to relax the shoulders. So once you've had enough in this position, you rejoin the clasp, palms facing downwards, and come up slowly. And you can really feel if you come up slowly, don't worry about the arms gluing to the ears. If you have a strong lower back, you can do that. But as slower you come up, you'll feel the contraction of the legs and the gluteals and the abdominals. Reverse the clasp. Inhale, lift up. Hips to the right. Bend to the left. And it's up to you whether you do 1, 2, or 3 breaths in this position. Depends where you're at. So you inhale, lift up and stretch through and soften. Inhale, lift up, stretch through and soften. Remember, you don't have to strain and stretch to the maximum. You allow the body and the breath to work it out on its own. The mind just gets in the way. Inhale, lift up, hips to the left, down to the right. You'll stretch. When you feel enough stretches, inhale back up, lift up and sit down. Inhale, lift up and sit down. I'm deliberately not going far down because you don't need to get the strong contraction. Inhale as we come up, arms face forward. When you're ready, you twist to the right. Keeping the left elbow above the shoulder. Again, you can stay in this position. Try to keep your chin parallel to the ground. Take as many breaths as you wish. When you're ready to come out, inhale back to forward facing. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to forward facing. Raise up, lift up, look up, and relax. Shoulders to elbows, elbows to wrists, wrists to fingers. And eventually, this is only our third half, if you think of it. The arms may not want to go down. So sometimes you may have to force them down. But again, you could do this for 20 minutes, half an hour. You can put yourself in this simple Samprasrasana, and it covers just about everything. Now I'm getting the tingling right down to my fingertips. So that's circulation, that's energy, that's prana. Heel toe your feet back in. and we'll step to the left. We'll only do 2 rounds actually, so this is the 4th half if you think of it like that. What's after this? Okay, cat. So we'll do this half and then we'll go down into the cat position. Stand tall, relax, smile. Satanama. Truth is our identity. So take your awareness to your left foot, take the weight, as we're going to inhale, stretch out our hands and lift up the right leg. Step across. Inhale, contract everything. Exhale down to the clasp. Inhale as we raise up. Look up, lift up, stretch up. Exhale as we release. Your arms probably are beginning to feel weightless. That's my arms stopped there, straight across. I don't want to go any further. So force them down to Namaste. Inhale, push firmly together, and then forward into fists. Around into your lower back, relax at the knees, lean back. You're opening the shoulders, check your balance, lengthen the throat, look up the top of the head with the eyes. And again, usually in your own time, inhale as you come out. Clasp, raise the clasp, reverse it. Forward bend. So by now, your knees perhaps may want to, your legs may want to remain slightly straighter because the hamstrings have had a good stretch. And you can focus on your slow, smooth, deep breaths, releasing the lower back, releasing the neck and shoulders. And as you exhale, pull the stomach back towards the spine, which helps to get rid of the stale air in the lower lobes of the lungs. You can even pull the stomach up behind the rib cage, Uddiyana Bandha. By now, this should feel very relaxing and comfortable because we've done the movement so slowly with lots of breath and awareness. You get lovely oxygenated blood to the brain. When you're ready to come out, reverse your clasp and slowly come up. And you'll feel the shin muscles, thigh muscles, the gluteals. Turn your clasp around. Lift up, stretch up. You know what's coming now. Hips to the right, bend to the left. And you decide how many breaths you take in this position. But don't push, don't strain. Allow. And you'll find you're going significantly farther than previously. Just allowing the body to stretch naturally. Inhale as you come up. Lift up, hips to the left, bend to the right. You're getting a lovely stretch through the intercostals. You can feel the stretch under the arms. You can probably feel it everywhere. When you're ready, you come up, elongate, and sit down. It can be a minimal. It can be a bar stool, a high stool. Then once you're a bit more relaxed, you can go into the chair. And if you really feel adventurous, you can go down a bit lower into the poofy. It's entirely up to you. Inhale as you come up, arms forward. Exhale to the right. Keeping the left elbow up. And you'll find that the body is wanting to go much further around. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to the left. Try to keep the chin parallel. And just feel what's happening with your ankles, your knees, your hips with this twist. Your neck muscles, if you're keeping your chin parallel to the ground, you're getting a good pull in the occiput, the base of the skull, with your trapezius muscles. These are simple movements with a myriad of benefits. Inhale back to forward facing. Lift up, look up. Stretch up. And then see if the arms want to come down this time. This is the last round. We won't do a third one. Muscle memory. This is what this is about. So if someone said you can hold your hands out without using any energy and they don't want to come down, they'd think you were crazy. So as we've got limited time, I'll force my arms down, but they don't want to go down at all. I can feel the tingling right down to my fingertips. Like a film of energy all around my limbs. And heel toe back in. Stand tall, relax. Allow the body to breathe naturally. Relax all efforts. And smile. I always say smile when I smile naturally. I smiled naturally there, so I verbalize it. This is what the stretching and the breathing does for me. Perhaps it's different for you. I hope not. And just have a wee look. How are you feeling? Are you calmer than when you started? Are you lighter? Perhaps you may be starting to get some spaces between your thoughts. Wouldn't that be wonderful? When you're ready, we'll go down into a simple cat. Simple, simple, simple cat. So I'll try not to eat my microphone with this. We're going to do the simple cat. We're going to tuck our knee under, lift our leg up, tuck our knee under, and then a balancing cat. Very basic movements. So remember, you've got to, so you don't lose your balance, you've got to get the knees hip width or more apart, and the hands shoulder width. This is important when you lift up the opposing arm and leg. But we'll just start, and if you find that your hands are directly under your shoulders and it's too much for the wrists, you can take them a little bit forward, which will change the angle. But we're just going to do the simple cat. So we inhale as we raise the chin, concave the back, raise the buttocks. You can take a few breaths in this position, and then you reverse it. You tuck the chin in, always start with the chin, push through the hands, arch through the back, pull in the buttocks. And again, as you're exhaling, you can pull the stomach back towards the spine. You do this every day, this will build up your abdominals. We just continue in our own pace, always moving the chin first and working vertebra by vertebra. Don't get so caught up in whether you should be breathing in or out. Just try and feel it. You can take many breaths for the one movement. You can be breathing in as you're pulling the abdomen back, which creates greater pressure for the internal organs, which gives them a nice squeeze. Or you can be exhaling as you're pulling the stomach muscles back, which has a different effect. Always start with the chin, and then vertebra by vertebra. It's a delicious movement. And you can feel where you have tension. I'm feeling it in my, just low from the shoulder blades. A couple more movements. And you may get to a point where you barely want to move because you're feeling so relaxed and so calm with the breath and the subtle movements. So you can continue doing this, or if you wish to make it a bit more challenging, check that you're comfortable in your position, readjust, because we're going to raise the right leg. We're going to inhale as we stretch the right leg out. We stretch it, we point the toe, we point, we lift, keeping the leg as straight as possible. You'll feel that lovely pressure on the lower back and the buttocks. And then you can bend at the knee. And you can lift a bit higher. You'll get a stretch through the thigh. Look up. Again, you can hold this for a couple breaths. It's entirely up to you. And then when you release, you swing it through, keeping the knee off the ground. Tuck your knee in and tuck your chin in. I won't speak as I do this because I'll swallow the microphone. So you just continue, and you try to keep your class, you try to keep your base position. You're not twisting or lifting the hip. Stretching the throat, looking up, keeping the leg straight, lifting up to the first point of resistance, and at the knee, you get a stretch through the thigh. Lift up again. And then exhale as you come through. Nice and slow. Tuck the chin in, look towards your knee. Once more if you wish. And we change side. If you're feeling a bit of pressure on your wrists, we'll move them a little. Take your fingers a bit further forward. Check that you've got the width with the knees. Don't be afraid to readjust or come out. We're all different in our body shapes. The left leg. And remember, one side will be more challenging than the other. So inhale as you stretch out the left. Look forward. Stretch your throat. Look up with your eyes. Pardon me. And bend at the knee. Ooh, so my left thigh muscle is much tighter. And then through. And as you're looking through, you'll see if you've leant to one side or you've twisted your movement. Just continue in your own pace. A lovely movement. Of course, some of you may get your chin right onto your knee. That's great. It doesn't matter how far you get. The beauty of these is that they're not so load-bearing. You're less likely to damage your body. So again, if you feel this is enough, you can sit back on your heels and rest, or we'll go into the balancing cat. So we're going to raise the right arm and the left leg. So make sure you have the width with the hands and with the knees. Test it out by just stretching out the right arm, stretch out the left leg. And if you're shaking, you stop and go back down, adjust your position. Inhale as you stretch out. Stretch out, and you can just do that, inhale and stretch out. Or if you feel you want to make it a bit more challenging, you can stretch out, stretch out, stretch out, and you can lift a little. Whatever works for you best on any particular day. And then your own time, you change sides. Take a comfort breath in between. You may get little bits of aches and pains or cramp. That's just the body adjusting to what you're doing. Now we're doing the left arm with the right leg. You must stretch first before you lift, if you want to lift at all. Back to the normal cat. I believe we're going to do, oh no, it's neck exercises. And sit back in Vajrasana. We get a bit of respite. So sit back on the heels. Of course, you can place a cushion under your feet or between your ankles and your legs. Little specially made chairs that are very comfortable if you want to sit in this position for a prolonged period. You don't have to deny yourself just because you've got weak ankles or knees. This is the best position, or my favorite position for meditation. Keeps the spine straight. Vajrasana works very well in any digestive issues. I've had too many of those in the past. You can sit with a simple mudra, the thumb on the first finger of each hand. You can sit with your hands open, which will take energy. If it's the end of the night, you can sit with the hands closed, which will shut you down a little, which is what you need last thing at night. You can release this and place one hand on top of the other with the thumbs touching. There's many variations. Find the one that works for you. You don't have to read up and find out how logically it works. Try and sense and feel what makes you feel better. And we're just going to do a wee run through the neck exercises. So we're going to inhale and just exhale to the right. Keep your neck long. Keep your chin parallel to the ground. 3 breaths. You can feel a lovely pool and attachment points. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to the left. Keep the neck long. Keep the chin parallel. 3 breaths. Inhale to neutral. Then it's ear to shoulder. So we inhale, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Try not to lift the shoulder up. And again, a lovely stretch through the neck. Inhale as you come up to neutral. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And perhaps you want to smile. I just did as I released that. Remember, you can run through these when you have a couple spare minutes. Anytime you go to the loo, you can do a few breaths in these positions. Of course you can. Inhale to neutral. We're going to turn the chin. Relax the right arm, and that acts as a weight to stretch the neck even further. The elbow has to be in line, the front of the face. Don't keep the elbow out to the side. 3 breaths, or 4, because this is particularly nice. Or 5, whatever you feel like. Release the hand, and immediately you get an ease in. Lift up the chin slowly. It's very nice. You know what's coming now. We turn it to the left, 45 degrees. Drop it down. Ooh, that's already very nice. And then you take the left hand over the back of the head. And then relax the left arm. And it allows a pull in the neck. Of course, you won't feel the need to come out of this one, but we'll release the left arm. And slowly lift up. I'm deliberately doing these a bit quicker today to show you can run through these in a couple minutes, because everyone always says they don't have time. Of course you've got time. So now we take the left hand, we place it against the side of our head. Remember, the elbow's open. We're going to inhale and push with the head and push with the hand. So we inhale, push with the head, push with the hand. You can feel all the neck muscles, the shoulder muscles, even your intercostals contracting. And if you're sitting all day at an office, you do have 5 minutes to nip to the loo and run through these. A bit longer at lunchtime, perhaps. And you release. We do the same with the right. So you get a comfortable place, side of your ear, but you make sure the elbow is open. You don't have it out front. And then inhale, you hold the breath, that gives you the energy, and you push with the head, push with the hand, and you feel what's happening. Of course you do. I actually feel this in the lower back as well. And release. You can do it a few times, but we're just doing it once to show you how quickly we can do them, still be effective. Now it's the forehead, a fist in front of, one fist in front of the other. Keep the neck long, don't do what I was doing there, which was lifting the shoulders up. Keep the neck long. Inhale, keep the elbows open, push with the fists, push with the forehead. And release. Of course, if you have more time, you can do a few rounds. And you know what's coming next? It's a toilet roll. It's the hands behind the head, elbows open, neck long, chin parallel, and you're trying to create a space between the hands and the head without taking the head forward. So we inhale. Ooh, this is very strong, and you're pushing back with the elbows and you're taking the hands away from the head. And you're trying to create space for that empty cardboard toilet roll insert thing. And it doesn't matter if to begin with, it has to be flattened to get in there. But you can feel you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, you're contracting the shoulders, and then you release, and you get a lovely flush of fresh blood into the area. Oh yes, and of course we need to finish with the facial exercises. So we start just by pouting forward and back in quick succession. And then we stick with the forward pout, and then we go up, down, right, left. So not with the head, just with the pout. Forward, up, down, right, left. And you know what's coming now? Eyes wide open, jaw wide open, tongue out. And scrunch up like tissue paper. And then forward and back with the pout in quick succession. And you can feel what's happening under here. And all of these movements have probably taken far less than 10 minutes. So that's a whole range of movements for the neck, the face, the shoulders. Okay, now we're going to go into downward facing dog with leg lifting, then upward facing dog. But of course, we've warmed the body up with our Samprasrasana. So we come up on our knees, move along to the edge of your mat. We're going to lean forward. We're going to tuck our toes under, and we're going to come up into downward facing dog. We've warmed everything up. And we're just going to stretch our calves to begin with. The ankles may reach the ground, they may not. I'll try not to roar into this microphone. So we push through the arms, lift up through the hips, soften through the heels. Push through the arms, lift up through the hips, soften through the heels. If you think with the cat as well, with the leg lifting, we've warmed up all these areas. You can release each knee at a time, and that will stretch your calf muscle, but try to keep your stretch at the same time. To get the idea, you can stop at any time and come down if it's too much for the arm muscles. You can come up on one toe, the left toe, and we can raise the right leg and bring it through as we did in the cat. Bend down and through and tuck it in. Change foot. Again, you can come out and rest your arms. You're just to practice for wherever you're at. We raise the left leg up on the right toe. And now you can sweep through into upward facing dog, just if you wish. Relax the shoulders. Use your arms as the post. You can stay in this position. Inhale, look up, stretch through. Keeping your torso off the ground. Try not to round your shoulders. This one's very strong. You can come back out. So once you build up your practice, you determine how many of these you do and what sequence you change. Lovely stretch through the abdominals, through the throat, working on the shoulders, the arms, stretching the calf muscles. And then when you've had enough, you gently walk your feet in and you stay forward in a forward bend. Which again, we stretched all these areas at the beginning of the class. You can release at the knees, soften the lower back, let go of the neck, pull the stomach back when you're exhaling. And then slowly unfurl. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Come up with your arms. Open your arms. Open your heart. Satanama, truth is my identity. Namaste. Allow the body to settle down, standing tall. Smile. And I did have the bow and arrow, but I'm not going to do it. We've done enough. So lie down in Shavasana. And get comfortable. We did this last week. So floppy feet, which allows the leg muscles to release. Palms facing upwards, slightly away from the torso, which opens up the shoulders. Check that your chin is not painting the ceiling. Take your lower back, which should be very loose by now, but that natural lordosis, try and compress it onto the ground and release. Let it spring back naturally. Twice more. And I want you to focus on your solar plexus. So it's the area around about where your belly button is. And as you inhale, take the energy right into the solar plexus. Wait for your natural pause. And as you exhale, flood that energy to the extremities of the body, down to the toes, down to the fingers, up to the brain. It's a slow, smooth, deep breath. That lovely prana that surrounds us. See it rushing into your solar plexus on the inhalation. Wait for your natural pause. And visualize it shooting down to the toes, up and down to the fingers, and up to the brain. So we've released a lot of tension in the body with our stretching. We've created these spaces so the energy can flow freely. Now we're using our mind to push that energy to the corners, the ends of the limbs. So of course you can do this anytime. You don't have to have done 50 minutes of yoga. Anytime you can breathe into your solar plexus and charge your body with prana. Pranayama. Prana is energy, yama is an extension of the energy. So by breathing, you're taking the prana into the body and extending the use of the energy with the mind to the various parts of the body. And to finish off, stretch your arms behind you. You're a 4-pointed star. Then you inhale, stretch through the toes, stretch through the fingers. Inhale, take that prana into the body. And then as you exhale, totally release and relax. You surrender the body weight to the ground. So we inhale again. And you're not being passive. You're really stretching through the toes. The thighs are contracting. You're stretching through the arms, intercostals, the rib cage is getting stretched. And exhale and soften and surrender onto the ground. Really let go. A couple more times. It's a lovely, lovely stretch. And with time, you'll be able to determine where there is tension within the body, and you can direct the energy with the mind to these areas and start to release it. Because as you inhale now and contract and stretch, hold as you exhale and soften. The body should feel like a big lump, just surrendering itself totally to the ground. So relax all efforts. Allow the body to breathe naturally. And I'll finish with a closing quote. So I started with, you didn't wake up today to be mediocre. And I don't think there's anything mediocre about the yoga practice you've just gone through. And to finish with, you'll turn out ordinary if you're not careful. You'll turn out ordinary if you're not careful. So I've added, you don't have to be the best, but you can be the best version of you. You don't have to be the best, but you can be the best version of you. And if you think of the sa, ta, na, ma, truth as our identity, then by being truthful to yourself, that's the best version of you. As always, thank you very much. And namaste with much love.